Obstetric violence is a form of abuse that can occur during the care of women in prenatal care, childbirth, the postpartum period, and also during health procedures related to pregnancy. It can manifest itself in various ways, from negligence, invasive attitudes, unnecessary medical interventions or those made without the pregnant woman's consent, to comments that disqualify a woman's feelings and knowledge about her own body. But what makes all this even crueler is the fact that this violence often happens at one of the most vulnerable moments in a woman's life, when she is about to bring a new life into the world. Before we start talking about the signs and symptoms of this violence, make sure you're already subscribed to the channel, so you don't miss out on the next videos and stay up to date on this incredible journey that is pregnancy. It's important to remember that obstetric violence is not limited to childbirth. It can occur at any stage of care for women, from the first prenatal visit to the postpartum period. And the most shocking thing is that women often don't even realize they are being victimized. It may seem normal to hear disrespectful comments about the size of their belly, to feel that their complaints are not taken seriously, or to be pressured into accepting medical interventions that have not been properly explained. This is all part of a scenario of disrespect that is gradually beginning to be more widely denounced and combated. Now, you may be asking yourself, how can I recognize if what I'm experiencing is obstetric violence? One of the main indicators is the absence of informed consent. This means that in any situation involving a medical intervention, be it an induction of labor, an episiotomy, the cut made in the perineum to facilitate childbirth, or even the performance of a cesarean section, the woman has the right to receive clear and detailed information about the procedure. The doctor or healthcare team must explain the risks, benefits, and possible alternatives in an accessible way, ensuring that the woman understands everything before making a decision. This explanation is essential so that she can make an informed decision about what is best for her and her baby. If this communication doesn't take place, or, even worse, if the woman feels pressured or coerced into accepting something she doesn't want, this characterizes a form of obstetric violence. Respect for a woman's autonomy during the birth process is fundamental, and a lack of respect is a clear sign that something is wrong. Another very common example of obstetric violence is unnecessary procedures. In many countries we still face a culture of excessive interventions in childbirth, such as the indiscriminate use of synthetic oxytocin to speed up labor or the practice of routine episiotomy, even when there is no medical indication for it. These interventions can increase the risk of complications and cause physical and emotional trauma, which could often be avoided. In addition, violence can manifest itself in disrespectful comments and attitudes on the part of health professionals. Unfortunately, it is still common for some women to hear phrases like, "When it was time to do it, you didn't complain," or "If you don't cooperate, it will be worse for the baby." These statements dehumanize women and make them feel guilty or powerless at a time when they should be welcomed and supported. Another frequent comment is the minimization of pain. The woman's suffering is ignored or treated as something natural, without due attention to her physical and emotional needs. It's also important to talk about the issue of unnecessary cesarean sections, which are unfortunately still very common. Women are often induced to opt for a cesarean section without there being a real medical need, which can represent a risk for both mother and baby. This is partly due to a lack of information and the culture that a cesarean section is a more practical or less painful option. However, many of these surgeries could be avoided with good guidance and humanized follow-up. By the way, have you ever had a similar experience, or do you know someone who has? Tell us in the comments, we'd love to know more about your story. Unfortunately, many reports of obstetric violence also include disrespect during the birth process itself. This can range from prohibiting a woman from having a companion of her choice, as guaranteed by law, to imposing uncomfortable birthing positions without respecting the woman's preference. Freedom of movement and the choice of more natural positions during labor are rights that are often denied, even when there is evidence that these practices help reduce labor time and women's pain. There is also what we call psychological violence. It's not just physical interventions that constitute obstetric violence, but also the way a woman is treated emotionally. This includes derogatory comments, a lack of empathy and patience, or even indifferent treatment at a time of extreme stress. This type of violence can leave deep scars, contributing to the woman developing traumas that can last for a long time, even affecting the way she experiences motherhood and relates to her baby. But what can be done to combat obstetric violence? First of all, it is essential for women to find out about their rights. Knowing about their own bodies, the processes of childbirth and the interventions that may be necessary helps them to make informed decisions and prevent situations of abuse from happening. Women have the right to actively participate in all decisions involving their health and the birth of their baby. It is also important to choose professionals and places of delivery that prioritize humanized care. Nowadays, there are many obstetric teams that follow this line of care, respecting women's choices and prioritizing interventions only when they are really necessary. That's why prenatal care is an essential time to talk to your doctor about how you want your birth to be, to understand what interventions may come up along the way and what limits you want to set. The presence of a trusted companion, be it a partner, family member, or friend, or even a doula, can be a decisive factor in the birth experience. This companion plays a fundamental role, not only by offering continuous emotional support, but also by serving as an intermediary to ensure that the pregnant woman's wishes and needs are heard and respected. The doula, in particular, is a professional trained to provide physical and emotional support, as well as information during all phases of childbirth, helping the woman to understand each stage of the process. She can suggest relaxation techniques, massages, more comfortable positions for childbirth, and even help with breathing, all with the aim of promoting a more peaceful and humanized childbirth experience. In addition, the presence of a companion or doula can be essential to prevent women from feeling alone or helpless, especially in hospital environments, which can be intimidating. This continuous support offers a sense of security and welcome, helping the pregnant woman to face labor with more confidence. In many cases, the companion also acts as an advocate for the woman's rights, ensuring that medical interventions are not carried out without her informed consent and that her preferences are respected whenever possible. In this way, having someone you trust by your side not only promotes emotional well-being, but also contributes directly to a more positive and respectful birth experience. Oh, and if you haven't left your like yet, this is a good time to click and help us keep producing more content like this. Combating obstetric violence requires a coordinated effort in several areas. Firstly, it is essential to promote a change in hospital culture, where outdated and disrespectful practices still prevail. To do this, it is necessary to train health professionals, from doctors to nurses, to adopt a more humanized approach that respects women's decisions and consent at all stages of childbirth. In addition, it is essential to reinforce and guarantee compliance with laws that protect the rights of pregnant women, such as the right to have a companion of choice and informed consent for any medical intervention. Women need to go into childbirth informed, knowing what obstetric violence is and what the limits of health professionals are. She needs to be able to identify what this violence is, so study up, see reports, get informed. At the same time, the mobilization of women has been crucial in giving visibility to the problem of obstetric violence. Reports and complaints shared on social networks, support groups, and other platforms have played an important role in encouraging other women to get informed and seek their rights. This collective movement helps to push for changes in the healthcare system and to promote a safer, more welcoming, and respectful birth environment. When women unite to demand dignified care, they contribute to transforming the way childbirth is viewed, ensuring that it is a positive and violence-free experience. And so, we end this video with the hope that, together, we can transform maternal health care, ensuring that every woman is treated with the respect and dignity she deserves in this unique moment. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, leave a like and share this content with other people who could benefit from this information. Together, we can make a difference.